It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at Castellion. This is a solitaire game you can play with one or two players actually. And in it you are going through these tests, these challenges that you must build up your castle for and have specific structures when that challenge comes to meet you. They're progressively harder, but if you get through all 3 rounds of the challenge, you win the game. This is in the same universe as Oniverse here and as Castellion. So I'm going to be telling you a little bit about where I think it fits into the line as far as which one I like better, which one I don't. I've also done a review of this game, so go check that out as well if you want to hear about both of these. But let me give you an overview. I'm going to be showing you not everything, just just the basics pretty much, and just so you have an idea if it's something you enjoy playing, if you want to get. All right, so here we go. Let me show you. Here I'm going to be showing you the game for one player, and I'm going to be showing you the middle level, the Admiral's Academy, which the game calls the base level. So normal. Here we have the 3 challenges I'm going to be completing to win the game. These came out randomly from a few that you shuffle, and I picked a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. Over here, a couple of cheat sheets. They're double-sided, so the back of this one is the same thing as the other one there, in case you have 2 players. Then the tiles are shuffled up here, these normal tiles, and then these safe tiles as well, the blue-backed ones. And you're ready to begin. The objective is to build a structure and complete these 3 levels successfully. If you do so, you win. If at any one level you fail that test, then you've lost the game. And the tests are printed on the bottom here. There's 2 pieces of information. How many bad tiles need to come up for this to be triggered, and then what you actually need to have built. That is a qualifying structure. So in this case, 1 stack that's 4 straight up, a column, a square, and then a line there. The second level is 2 lines and 2 columns, as you can see there. And then the final level is 6 squares, which is very challenging because the entire structure you're building can only be 6 by 6 as seen on the bottom of this card here. All right, so let's take a look at how this works. I'm going to draw a tile and get started. Every tile has 2 pieces of information. It has a character, which is the little funky looking guy there in the middle called the juggler. And then it has a shape, in this case a circle. There's triangles and squares and so on, okay? I am going to first be building the base of the castle here. And the rules across the line on the base are a little more lenient than normally. So I'm going to place him, then I'm going to draw another one. And this is a different character. It's now a square. I would be allowed to put this character on top of this one because the shapes are not the same, and that's the rule I have to follow. I also have to make sure that nothing's like floating. So if there was already a tile here, I cannot put a tile here that would float because it would just boom fall to the bottom floor. Okay, so I'm gonna put him there, and then I'm gonna flip another tile, and he is the same shape as this guy but a circle. So I might put him here and start trying to build one up. So I can satisfy that first requirement there, a pillar of 4 in the same character. These 2 characters being the same, the little Pyro is his name. And so I'll continue. The other option I have on my turn, whoa, this is the bad character, so I have to assign it to the card here. Again, when there are 3 that bad boy triggers, there is a slight way to get around that, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The other thing I can do on my turn is if I draw a character card here, a token, a tile, and I don't want to place it, well then I could discard it and draw again. If I discard it, then I am allowed to take an action that it gives me by discarding it. It's my option if I want to do it or not. The chameleon here, which is the name of the little green guy, when I discard this, I get to go through the discard pile and find another token that has the same shape, in this case a square, and use that instead. Very useful. But I'm going to go ahead and play it for now. And so then I would flip again. Now this one is a circle. It is the juggler is his name. So I could put him here, even though these are both circles, because that rule doesn't apply across the base. I'm always allowed to play something on the base because, well, I think it would break the game if that was in effect. So I could put it here and start trying to build jugglers this way, and then the pyros this way, and then make a square somewhere. Again, I can go up to 6 and up to 6 up and down. The other thing I can do when I draw a tile and it is one of these, then I'm allowed to discard 4 tiles from the construction and just get rid of it. However, if it's actually this tile that has a black edge, I have to play this one. But normally they don't have this black edge, and I could nuke my own structure to delay that test from happening here. All right, so there's this one. I could, I don't know, put it here, continue going. Oh boy, there's another bad one. I'll keep going. There's a little blue one. Now these guys are very neat. Their power, the Seer is his name. What I can do with him is I can discard him and then reveal 4 tiles. That was 5, and I just cheated. Anyway, 4 tiles, and then these 4 would have to be played next. I can do it however I want to, though. And so I could do something, I could play this one, and then play this one. I'm trying to go for a square here, a line here, and a column here. And then out of these 2 guys, I would maybe discard him. The other little blue guy, maybe draw another 3 tiles to bring my visible total up to 4 again, okay? I could play this one here. I could play this one here, and so on. So you understand basically the way it works. Each one gives you a little power, and you can try to get these done before these come out. In fact, you can choose to say, I'm going up against that challenge if you've got this made before these tiles come up, which is beneficial because once you're ready to check that challenge and start breaking that down so you can make the next one, that's when you want to be able to trigger that, not necessarily when the tiles come up themselves, the bad tiles, I mean. All right, so that's basically it. You can sometimes use the fact that you can chuck one of these by destroying 4 very strategically. And the only power I think I haven't explained, which I should tell you, is the juggler here. When you get one of these tiles and you chuck it, you can then switch 2 tiles that are orthogonally adjacent in your construction. And the little pyro dude here, he's kind of destructive. You have to burn a tile somewhere in your structure and put it in the discard pile. And then secondly, choose a tile in your castle and move it anywhere else. Very flexible, but you're losing a tile because of it, okay? That's pretty much the game. Continue doing that until you've passed this challenge here, and if you can do so, then you win the game. Otherwise, if you stumble at any one of these because these constructions are not done, then you lose. And I should lastly mention here that if you actually overdo something, then it does not count. As in this juggler here, next to these 4, breaks that construction type. So I cannot put any more of these next to that. Easier said than done, but those are the rules, and that is the game. One more thing I have to mention is these safe tiles over here. You are always allowed to, instead of drawing from these stacks, you are allowed to draw from these safe tiles, and these are guaranteed, well, safe. And so you can do that. You can burn through these as much as you want to, but of course be aware it is a limited resource, so you have to make sure you use it at the right moment, because once these 12 tiles are gone, that's it for safe draws. You never know what you're going to get. I have to say, I think my favorite thing about this game is the immediacy of it. I love the fact that you draw a tile and you deal with it. You want to play it, play it. You want to chuck it, you chuck it, then you draw another one. Boom. There's no hand to manage. There's it's on the edge of a blade the entire time. You never know what's going to happen. You don't have a hand to manage. In this one, you have a hand. In Sylveon, you have a hand of cards. In this one, you deal with what happens, and I like that. It works really well. Now, yeah, you have the characters that help you balance that out a little bit, and you even have that one character that lets you look ahead a few tiles. But other than that, you got to roll with the punches. At first, and before perhaps you figure out the game a little bit, that's going to seem particularly random. You are going to have that one game where you draw boom, 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 bad characters, and you go, well, are you kidding? I had no chance. This is total luck. But stick with it. Use those character powers that as you discard, you trigger the power, and the game will open up to you. I think this is beautifully balanced. It always comes down to a do-or-die kind of ending, and I think that's great. Now, it's not as good as Oniverse, which is my favorite in the line by far, really. This was the first one. But I do like this better than Sylvion, which, while interesting and sort of a neat, deck, not deck building, well, it does have deck building in it, but it's like a tower defense kind of game. I think this one, while it's the weirdest in the line, feels the closest to Oniverse, which is probably why I like it so much. So, I think that's great. The one thing I will say that's a huge negative for me, and it's my one negative really, is that I think the insert is garbage. And these games are packaged very beautifully, but I wish they would have done a better job with that insert because it does not hold the contents that come in it. It's a mess. After you've punched out all the tiles in the frames, which fit in there perfectly, you've now got a mess of tiles, and I really don't like the way it puts itself away again. I also wish they would have included maybe a bag to draw the tiles from, but stacking them on the table works well enough anyway. So there is that. So there you have it, Castellion. Really rocking little game of tile placement, puzzly aspect to it. Great solitaire endeavor. Check it out if you like solitaire games at all. This entire line of games really is very solid. And this one, while different from the other ones, is also an awesome game. Check it out.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.